Hello everyone. I, Forum Patel from LJ School of Law, would like to extend my warm welcome to every viewer. Friends, welcome to this session of the obscenity and media law. In the previous sessions of the media law, my friends, we discussed about the defamation and, of course, the sedition as a crime and the exceptions to that, along with certain important case laws. So, in this session, we shall be discussing about media and the crime of the obscenity. Friends, let's get started. The society is now reeling under the impact of unending flow of the crime. Cinema, story, dance and drama through small screens and television. It becomes very important in this time to decide what is obscene and what is not. To understand what is obscene, first we need to know the meaning of obscenity. My friends, obscene means offensive to chastity or modesty, expressing or representation of the same to the mind or view something that is delicacy, purity, and decency which forbids to be expressed, which was impure. So, this all can be considered as an obscene. Now, when you're showing the obscenity through any medium, that would of course cover obscenity and media. That is how these two concepts are relevant. When we are talking about the concept of the obscenity, according to the Oxford Dictionary, obscene means the offensive to modesty or decency, expressing or suggesting the lustful ideas which are impure and indecent. This same concept has been provided under section 292 and 294 of the IPC. It is still the punishable offense. IPC incorporates the offense affecting the public decency and morals. Section 292 punishes the selling and letting or distribution of the subjectives which are lascivious or appeal to be the prurient interest, and its effect tends to deprave and corrupt the persons who are likely to read or to hear the same. This section punishes selling of such objectives to a person under the age of 20 years. The next section, that is 294, punishes the public exhibition, selling or singing of the obscene objectives also. When we are talking about the word obscenity, it becomes very important that we have to connect it with the Constitution of India. Now, restrictions on the freedom of expression. The Constitution, Article 19(1)(a) recognizes the right of the freedom of speech and expression, which can be restricted by the subsequent article, that is Article 19 subclause 2, wherein the several grounds for prescribing, including the decency and morality and public order, through which the image of the humanity and dignity of the women can be sought to be protected in the media projections as well. The society, of course, is bound to decay if the high standards of the decency and morality are not maintained. That means, my friend, that if the obscenity has been created to disorder the public at large, it is hampering the decency and morality also. And on that ground, the Constitution will be there to restrict that activity along with the media laws. But let's keep in mind one thing, my friends, that there is no precise definition of the word obscenity. Section 292 defines that the purpose of this section, the distribution of such books or such pamphlet or paper or any other material, it is restricting those activities. But then what is obscene? It depends upon the wiseness of a person. When the prudence of a person has to decide the same thing, how can we decide what is obscene? For that, we need to go after the Hickling test for the validity. It has to be decided on the facts and the circumstances of each case, whether in context of its surrounding, which questioned the act of the obscenity, whether that act can be considered as an obscenity or not. In the case Ranjit D. Udeshi versus State, none has to so far attempted to define obscenity. In this case, the Supreme Court upheld the constitutionality of the section 292, of course, and it applied what is known as the Hickling test in the right to determine the question of the obscenity. The test laid down by the Chief Justice Cockburn in the Queen versus Hickling was referred that whether the tendency of a matter charged as obscenity is to deprave and corrupt those minds which are open to such immoral influences, and into those hands a publication of this sort may fall. It is now quite certain that it would suggest to the minds of the young of either sex or even person of more advanced year through of the most impure and libellous character. The Supreme Court allowed some scenes, or rather female frontal nudity and jesty rape in the features, which was the film of the Bandit Queen, which was also questioned on the basis of the obscenity. The scenes were not obscene. The court was of the opinion. It tried to give the censor certificate. It was trying to justify the standard of the contemporary society in India was brought up. And when you are proposing that thing through any of the mediums, that at that time the question arises whether that act can it be considered as an obscenity or not. So the concept of the obscenity, however, would differ from country to country depending upon the standards of the morals and the contemporary society. What is considered obscene in India may not be considered as an obscene in any other country, or what is considered as an obscene there may not be considered in our country. So that again has to be decided from case to case along with the laws that are applicable in our country. Now coming back to the Hickling test in our country, of course, though Hickling test was rejected in its own country of the origin, the Indian judiciary is still applying the same. According to the section 292, there are 3 tests determining the concept of the obscenity. Book, pamphlet, paper, writing, etc. shall be deemed to be obscene if it is lascivious, it appears to be the pruriest interest, and if it is effective in the negative sense. Now this clause was added by the amendment in 1969. Through this case, the knowledge of the seller has become also one of the points to be discussed when we are talking about the obscenity. In Ranjit D. Udeshi case, the seller of the book Lady Chetlay's Lover, Ranjit Udeshi took the plea that the prosecution must prove that the person who sells or rather keeps for the sale any obscene object knows that it is obscene before he is adjudged as a guilty person. The Supreme Court rejected this argument, stating that the knowledge was not an ingredient of the offense, which has to be created under section 292. Friends, when we are talking about the obscenity concept, we need to understand that there are certain imperative areas where these obscenity concept would be discussed, such as the movies, or rather such as that segment. The Supreme Court was dealing with a pro bono public prosecution against the producers, actors and others connected in a film, which is very well known, my friends. You also must have heard about it, Satyam Shivam Sundaram, on the ground of the obscenity. Now, the court was of the opinion that art, morals and laws mechanics on ethics are sensitive subjects where the jurisprudence meets the social science and never goes alone on the bark and bite because the state-made strike jacket is an inevitable prescription for a free country. The world's greatest paintings, sculptures, songs, dance, etc., they all, if it proves or rather it bridge the state's morality which is prescribed as paradigm and prescribed heterodoxing, then it cannot be considered, or rather it will be considered as the obscenity. It was Krishna Justice Iyer who again came to rescue the freedom of criticism in Raj Kapoor versus Lakshman. He stated that sublime titles of the cinematography films may enhance or incite, and the only after entry into the theatre the instinct worth of the picture dawns on the viewer. The experience may transform because the picture is great and audience may lose the lurk and the culture in the bargaining. But more titles may not therefore attest the noxious or noble content of the film. Sometimes some films may produce contrary impact, and what one regards as delicious, another man may consider this elevating also. So again, the parameters has to be taken into consideration so far as interpretations of the viewers, the intentions of the person who is making it, and all the other segments when we are talking about the obscenity. When the Supreme Court was trying to give the justification in the Bandit Queen case also, it suggested that recognizing the message of a serious film and applying this test to the individual scenes thereof. The Supreme Court asked a question that do they advance the message? If they do so, then it should be left alone with the only caution of the A certificate, of course. Adult Indian citizens as a whole may be relied upon the comprehended intelligently that the message and to act upon it, not the possible titillation of some particular scenes, of course. So to protect and also to cover the same, the Cinematography Act was there providing certain guidelines to censor the film before which they are permitted for the public exhibitions. The certificate of A and U has to be given to the films after the due authority and after the due process of the law. If it is allowing the same thing, my friends, then comes the questions that how far the new age internet is affecting the new generations when it is coming to the obscenity, whether some steps of the songs or let it be some lyrics of the songs or let it be certain scenes of the songs. If it is not being judged by scene and only by the message, then what effect would it be having on the new generations? The next question would also be that the child pornography, which is the new cyber crime. Now, if it is recognized as a crime, then how far will it be protected under the IT Act? The amendment bill also in the 2006. We need to take certain precautions with regard to the same thing. A representative of the CBI wanted some specific provisions criminalizing the child pornography under the IT Act, with the law preparing the advanced democracies of the words as well as the European Convention's articles, of course. As we all know that pornography can never be allowed, and when it comes to the child pornography, strict steps must be taken against any person. So, if any act or which is indecent in the nature and which is actually covering the pornography, the child pornography, it must be restricted even when it comes to the application of the IT Act 2000 under section 67 or let it be even 69, whatever it may be, but that act has to be restrained or restricted. So when it comes to the concept of the media and obscenity, there are so many different segments that we talked about. The relevance of the constitution, indecency with regard to the obscenity, the Hickling test, the validity of the Hickling test in today's time and rather in our country also. The discussion of the Bandit Queen case, the discussion of the Satyam Shivam Sundaram film case or rather the Raj Kapoor case. When we are talking about all these acts, we also did not left the act which is the television and the regulation on the film or cinematography act. We have also discussed the concept and rather the provisions of the IT Act in very brief, of course. So this was all about media and obscenity when it comes to the legislative part of the media segment. Friends, in the next session, we shall be discussing about the other segment other than the criminal law that will fall as the media and tort law. So friends, till then, stay tuned and keep learning.